So one big gripe with Lou Anarumo's defense was it was very complex. It was very difficult to learn. If you knew it, you're great. But if you didn't know how to run it, you were going to be in a really bad situation. That's why losing players like Jesse Bates sucks so freaking bad, because Jesse Bates could run Lou's defense at a very high level, almost to perfection. Not the case for other players on our team. Well, Logan Wilson claims that Al Golden's defense is less complex and more black and white. So it's a lot easier to learn, and it should be a lot easier to learn for all of our guys, even those who did struggle with Lou's defense. He says, less thinking, just reacting. Doing what you've been doing your whole life. Sometimes this level, you can make things more complex than it needs to be. Sometimes you have paid to do what they do too. And sometimes they're going to get us in certain ways and not always try to be in a perfect call. I agree with that. I think that's a very good statement. Overall wise, what he's saying is just let the players play. Pretty much that's a basic scrubbed down version of that whole statement. Let the players play. You know, don't try to overthink every single play. Don't try to put this guy in this situation because you think that they're going to go over the top and now you're going to get an interception, or, you know, you stack a box in this certain way. Sometimes just let the players play, let them react, let them play free, and let them just do them. Let them show you why they're getting paid as much money as they're getting paid. I do agree with that statement. I will say, though, obviously you still want to have good defensive coaching. You still want to have good play calls, right? But at the same time, yeah, you don't want to make it to a point where your defense is looking at you like, I don't know how the heck we're going to run that. I don't know how we're going to be successful in that defense. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, and that's, I feel like you look at the last couple seasons, at least a couple times, you could probably think to yourself, I don't think this guy knows what the heck he's doing. I don't think he knows what the heck he's doing. And you could literally over and over again have that same philosophy throughout the last set amount of years when it comes to our defense. So he continues, he says, it's just understanding the weakness if you're in a certain call and how they can challenge you in that certain call, he continued. That what allows you to play more free. Again, I certainly agree with that. Yeah, I mean, again, listen, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I love Al Golden. I've watched him coach our defense in Notre Dame for the last set amount of years, since 2022. I love his coaching style, and I will agree with Logan. It's a lot more, I don't want to say plug and play type of system, but it's a system that I think it gets results very quickly. I don't know how like furthermore complex that. It gets results very quickly. It is a very shutdown defense. I really love his defense. He runs a base 4-3 defense with a 4-2-5 in nickel formations. So in nickel formation, nickel schemes, he runs a 4-2-5, which mainly all defenses nowadays in the NFL runs that, because it's a mirror defense. You mirror whatever the offense comes out in. But his base defense is a 4-3. So I love his defense personally, so I understand why Logan is very happy as well. So continuing down the line here, it does say multiple players claim that the reason why they felt like the defense really started going at the end of the year and getting a lot better was because Lou simplified down a lot of the defense, and that fixed a lot of the issues, which, again, yeah, it did, because certain players, Cam Taylor-Britt cannot play in Lou's defense. He could not play in Lou's defense no matter what, and that was a huge problem. So yeah, simplifying the defense down, making it less complex, not trying to make it like so insanely crazy, always a smart idea. He does go ahead and continue and said, what else do we have to lose? Which again, you know, I think when you're having as bad of a defense as we had last year, you get to a point where you're just like, all right, let's try anything we can. And that was a very smart move by Lou. Obviously, he didn't end up keeping his job, but simplifying it down hopefully will help him out now that he's on the Colts. He says, obviously, I was down and out at that point, so I wasn't able to attend as many meetings because I was rehabbing. But that was the word that they were kind of simplifying things to let guys go play and do what they do at the end of the day. It's still football. It's still the same game we've been playing since third grade or whatever. Let's try not to make it more complex than it needs to be. Yeah, so Lou lost. He lost it in the end. I don't know. This last year, Lou lost it when it comes to like his players. He lost the locker room, I feel like, and he just lost the overall trust of all the players, like that he knows what he's doing when it comes to running this defense. And obviously making it way more complex than it needs to be. Does look good on a coaching standpoint, right? It looks good from like a fan standpoint and a higher up standpoint because, wow, this coach knows what he's doing. This coach is calling these crazy exotic plays. But if your guys can't run it, then what are you doing in the end? You're just going to take the L. You're just going to lose over and over and over again. He says it needs to be complex, obviously, but there comes to a point where it's just too much. Finding the right balance is what separates a good coordinator from a great one. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's interesting. I'm happy we have Al. That's what I will say. I think that's the best way to put it. Because I don't ever want to disrespect to put down Lou Anarumo. I love Lou Anarumo. I love how he has done for us. And I would never disrespect him. So I'm not even going to get into that. I'll just say that, it is what it is. He does finish off with, it was a cut and dry. It was black and white. There are no gray areas. I just think that's important. That goes back to my point of saying how you can play free. Because you know what's supposed to happen. You know what you're supposed to do. And if they get you in a certain way, just react and play football. Don't overcomplex things that don't need to be overcomplexed. He's going to be good for us. A fresh start. Let's just do things a little bit different than we have in the past. And I think it's going to be good for us as a defense. Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, you do also got to look at last year. We also lost Logan Wilson for the year. We lost DJ Turner, Dax Hill for the year. We lost some key players on that defense. So it is what it is. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below if you are indeed new. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.